Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again, and if you have been following along with us, so far we've looked at two parts of the NBK-04 of Gravity Builder, which in itself, of course, is that third-party representation of the Transformers combiner known as Devastator. And at this point, the race is very close, though I think the official Combiner Wars Devastator is winning just by a little bit. Of course, the scores that I have given have been a little bit fluid. For example, with Bone Crusher, it's arguable if his hips are very good. I think that they're alright, but I could see how a lot of people might not like that at all. Nevertheless, even though the Combiner Wars version has been winning just a little bit, things are about to change because we're looking at this guy today. It is the NBK version of Mixmaster, and he's going to be our focus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, and of course subscribe, stick around, check out the channel, see what it is that catches your interest. Check me out everywhere, have a look at Machinery of Men, The Everything Factor, and Transformers Collectors NL. And this is Mix Truck, I think it's called. Mixer Truck? It's Mixmaster. It's Mixmaster. By the way, if you hear some birds in the background, it's really warm here today. The window's open, and for some reason they're all over my backyard. I don't know. Good food in the ground, I guess? I don't know. Nevertheless, we have this guy, and yeah, okay, he's sort of stylized, but I think that he makes a great leg. He hits on enough cues for the character in this mode that it's definitely recognizable as Mixmaster, and he does one thing more correctly, far above and beyond correctly, when compared to the actual Combiner Wars version of Mixmaster. What am I talking about? Of course, his truck mode. I think that this guy might be where the tides turn and where the NBK knockoff actually starts to kind of win this race. Anyway, enough of me kind of talking about this guy. Let's head over to the table and take a closer look at him. So as we continue on here with part 3, we're going to look at NBK-04. He is the master of ceremonies, the master of mixing. Of course, he is the classic character known as Mixer Truck. Well, actually, he's the KO of the Generation Toy Gravity Builder character known as Mixer Truck, who in and of itself, of course, is a third-party representation of everybody's favorite Transformers, Decepticon Constructicon member, Mixmaster. Woo, these introductions are hard, man. They are a challenge for this set. Now, I can almost guarantee you, while we've, in part 1 and part 2, taken a look at the two arms, we're of course now starting off with the legs of the combiner, known as Devastator. And I can almost guarantee you that this guy is going to be the first, when compared to his Combiner Wars version, he is probably going to be the first, despite any imperfections he may have, to actually score better. Why? Because aesthetically, this is the sort of cement mixer that I know Mixmaster as. Don't get me wrong, the kind of weird backwards facing one that the Combiner Wars Mixmaster turned out to be, like, that's an actual thing too, that's a real thing, like, you know, it exists, it's a huge industrial cement mixer, but this is what I think of when I think of Mixmaster. As a matter of fact, here they both are in vehicle mode, and yes, the Combiner Wars one is facing in the right direction, although some people do like to take him and turn him around that way, and they sort of, like, you know, fake it that he would go in this direction. Either way, this is more accurate to Mixmaster. And at least in terms of vehicle mode here, the colors on this one are still largely very accurate, and if anything, they're a little more lush than on this one. Now, as I said, I'm not going to give any marks now. We'll wait until we get the robot into its, the vehicle into its robot mode. But yeah, there you go. That's what both of them look like in their vehicle mode. So, okay, we have him here again. Now, just a couple of things that I want to point out. I haven't looked at any accessories yet. Not that there's a whole lot that kind of comes with them. But I will note that his blaster fits up underneath. Usually, it likes to fall right back out. It's not a secure fit, but today, again, this is another really, really humid day, and I guess maybe the plastic has swelled, and it's actually locking in there really nicely today. Also, this black piece back here, it moves, like it pegs in different places for, I guess, different modes. So I guess you'd call that an accessory, I suppose. I just call it kind of part of his body. And of course it comes with instructions. And the one thing that does bug me about this guy, do you hear that? I guess it's supposed to be like a sound like a cement mixer mixing, but I don't know what it is. It's just, I want to crack that open and I want to take it out. I don't like that sound. So if you hear it going through, it's not that something's broken, it's that that's deliberate. I don't know why. Again, these are, the colors have been adjusted and they're simplified from their actual, I guess, from the actual Generation Toy releases. So, something to note, you know, this is a KO, we'll see how it goes. So, how do we do the conversion to robot mode? It's kind of interesting actually, so we'll kind of jump into it right away. We untab that from both sides. It flips up on the tires, and of course it will flip up on the tires over on the other side as well. Then we, see if I can actually remember all of this, we can pull all of that out. That's the arms, we just really pull them out away from the entire body. The body is right here, and here's the face underneath. We can actually take these and turn them down and rotate these arms down and do the same over here. Rotate those down, and we'll even rotate the arms here down. I'm going to leave the arms for now. We do have a little bit more to deal with them, but we'll get back to that. Then for the legs, we basically fold them down, but as we fold them down, we pop out his gun and we flip up his, I guess his front bumper, and we can split the legs. That's a lot of the lower body done. But because there's more to kind of focus on here, let me just readjust and we'll kind of work our way from the ground up. So I wanted to try and get in here just a little bit closer so that we can kind of deal with the legs, because like there's a few things here to note with them. The very first is we bring down, I guess it's the top of the cab section, and we turn it around and we kind of pop out the heel. That's going to be the foot. And we do the same here, which I could have shown from where it was, but that's not all. So we get that down and out here, and we turn it around and get the heel out and straighten that down underneath. Now, this was why I wanted to kind of try and get in a little bit closer here. We have these little tabs here, right there, and we have another one, of course, on the other side, and they're not easy, or at least I don't find that they're very easy to get out. You bring them down, and really they kind of go in right there, like on this edge. There's a little tiny tab that tabs into, and I guess it's supposed to hold the calves in position. You straighten up those feet there, and really that's the lower body done for all intents and purposes. That's the lower body done. Now we need to deal with those arms, and again I'm going to readjust things so we can kind of focus on them. Now, this is kind of more detailed than often I get, but I wanted to show this not because it's hard, because it's not really. It's just, I don't think it works as smooth on the KO as it probably does on the actual Generation Toy version. For the longest time, neither I nor Wayne, who owns this set and was kind enough to let me take a look at it, was able to get this to peg in. There's a little hole up underneath and a little tab here, so we just sort of like use the elbow as is, but it does tab in. You can't just push it up, like you need to kind of hold onto the top and push it up and sort of push it forward. It's like it's toleranced weird. Then you turn this around and you can bring forward the elbow just fine, open up the wrist and get out the hand if you can. And close that back down. And then this like just goes down on the side. And we'll do the same thing on the other side for the other arms. It took a little bit of doing, but eventually I did get the other arm snapped in. I had to fiddle with it. And you will probably have to do the same. Now for the last bit of the transformation, you just turn the hands. And now, there are two flaps here on the side of his head. By right, you're supposed to bring them down. They fill in the shoulders. I'll do it, but I expect it to be a pain going back. It comes down right there, and that one comes down right there, and it does fill the shoulders in nicely, but man is it a nuisance trying to get them back up. But I think in the end we get a pretty fantastic looking robot mode. I think that this is great. I love this look. I mean, granted, this might be kind of large over his head, but like it's accurate. And for comparison, here he is next to the official Combiner Wars version. He's a bit bigger actually. He's more bulky of a Voyager. It's still a Voyager size, but it's definitely more bulky and it looks way better. I had given Mixmaster about a 9, but I did add silver to him, and I did add the PC7 set to the guy. So it's a little bit of a cheat. In all actuality, yes, it certainly looks like Mixmaster, but he probably should have only been about a 7. This guy over here, I think he's a good 8.5. I really do. I think that he is a good 8.5. The articulation for the Combiner Wars version, I'd given an 8 to. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Like, you know, he has good legs out to the side and the front and the back. That guy wasn't supposed to fall over. He has limits, however, in his arm movement, especially out to the side and whatnot. But this isn't about him. So what's the articulation like on the NBK version? Well, taking him out of it, in a word, it is tremendous. The head, if you have those side panels down, does go left and right. Maybe it can look down a little bit and kind of look up a little bit. The arms, they can go all the way around, way out to the side. This you would think would be a hindrance, but it's not. You can move it out of the way. We have a nice bicep swivel. We have easily a 90-degree elbow. If you kind of untab it from the back, you get an even deeper elbow all the way up. We have a wrist swivel. We have a little bit of a waist wiggle, but we do have, you know, he can, because of the ankle tilt for Devastator, he can kind of, you know, lean to the side, I guess, if that's good. The legs can go forward, you know, a respectable amount. They can go backward a respectable amount. His big backpack drum really isn't in the way. The legs split to the side, no problem. We have a lovely thigh swivel. We have a knee to at least 90 degrees. It feels like it looks 90 degrees, but it feels like it's probably a little bit more. We have ankles that can tilt and lean forward and back, and a heel that leans forward and back and can even swivel around. Honestly, he has I can't think of any more articulation that I would want for this guy to have. I think it's fantastic. It's easily a 10. No doubt in my mind that it is a 10. So paint apps 8.5, articulation 10, transformation. It's interesting, it's not hard really. It's super simple to get him into a limb, as we will see. It's fine getting him here. It's just things I want to focus in on you. It's not that it's hard. I'm going to say his transformation is a 10. Overall, I think this guy is a solid 9.5. I really do. I think it's that good. I think it's a fantastic figure. The Combiner Wars version was only an 8. This guy, 9.5. He is stupendous. So we're going to quickly put him back into his truck mode, and then we're going to put him into his limb mode, and that's where we're going to kind of end things off here. So getting him back into his truck mode should be easy enough. We turn the fist, open it up, flip that in, close it up. And I'm not going to focus on anything here like I did coming to this mode, because I don't think we really need to. We do that. We untab the elbow again. We rotate that around. Over here we untab the elbow and we rotate that around. We have to get these sections up on the side, and that is a absolute pain. I don't see picking them up with your like finger. Can I? Ooh, I do. You definitely need a fingernail. I just happen to have a fingernail there that I was able to use. You're definitely going to want something to kind of pry these up from the side. I was very, very lucky then that I got them out. So, that's most of that part of the truck done. These spin around this way. I do believe. And, oh, actually they don't spin around that way, sorry. We have to bring the arms up this way next, because they need to go in behind. We kind of bend them back at this sort of strange elbow angle. The shoulders slide in. And when we bring these in, they go on the side there, and they should tab on. If I've done this correctly, there we go. They should tab on. There's a couple of little like teeth notches there. Then these turn around on both sides, and we have like a little rounded tab here, and that just tabs on over the little round tab, or it should. Why they're not tabbing on now, I'm not sure. There's one, there's two. Then we come to the front here, and we really close up the feet, and we turn them around. Take these back, and we turn them around. They're going to come down over and come down over, because they're going to be the top of our truck. These little tabs here, you need to get these little flaps out. Again, they're not, I don't find them to be particularly easy. A lot of times they do like to pop off. Don't worry, they just pop right back on. Although that one came out nicely. And that one came out nicely. Nice! And then we can flip that up and flip that up. We can flip down the front bumper, and now we should be able to tab these two sections together. I hope. There. And, oh, pop that apart. Just like that. And now we're going to bring this up, and there's a little black tab there that goes into a little slot here, kind of on the wheel well. And we do the same on the other side. and we're going to just lock those two pieces in. Right there, and right there, and boom, in the end, there he is back in his vehicle mode. So what about to leg mode? Pretty simple. You take the front here, and you angle it up, and those black sections that were connected onto the sides, you bring them up over. We have a combiner port up here on the top, that's what comes out. But in essence, this is your leg. And, you know, it does have a nice tilt. It's Mixmaster as a leg, what can I say? It is pretty much perfect as far as I'm concerned. That being said, how does it compare with the Combiner Wars version? Like, is there even really a discussion to have here? I mean, this looks so much more like I would expect the leg to look. We don't have hands sticking out on this one like we do with this one. The actual foot piece seems large and correct. Now you can remedy this one a bit and remedy this whole look a bit with add-on kits, but this one is just the way it is. I like the drum on this one better. I think it's a better looking leg. Plus, this one has a tilt left and right. Not that you need it left and right, because it's only going to be, you know, on one of the legs. This guy it's very specific where he has to go. He only has a tilt that way. That's it, which is fine, and it's ratcheted and nice, but it does sort of limit where the Combiner Wars 1 can go. We're going to talk more about their, you know, how effective these guys are as limbs later on in the combined video, but for now, this is the first time in our series so far when the knockoff, the NBK, has done better than the Combiner Wars. The race is getting much more interesting now. And here we are once again, and here he is, and I thought that these things on the shoulders were going to be a real nuisance to his articulation. They're not. I'm so glad that I discovered that you sort of need to fiddle it a little bit because of probably a couple of tolerance issues with this being a KO, but the elbows do lock in and work quite nicely once they're locked in. The articulation is pretty great on the guy. The purple, the green, mostly in the right spot. We have a couple of other colors that break things up. I don't even know if they're if they're needed. I get it to make it look a little more robot-y and probably realistic. He virtually has a backpack that really isn't bad at all, not compared to the huge backpacks that the two arm bots have. Like, it's still that barrel thing, but like, it's not bad at all. It's too bad that it does this. Well, not that it rotates, but that noise thing, I didn't need that. You know, I did not need that at all. He's terrific. He really is. And he's the sort of cement mixer truck that I know, that I've seen. I haven't seen the Combiner Wars sort. I know it's real, but I've never seen it. And like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but like, even having something like gray on the hubcaps, rims, whatever, you know, just adds to this guy. By the way, I don't think I pointed out, he has instructions that are just as good as any of the others. They're actually pretty decent instructions. And his blaster, once you take it off, it's, you know, it's fine. Once you unpeg it, it's fine. It pegs in his hand, no problem. But it also extends, like the little gray piece on the front extends. I don't think that I showed that. If I did and I just repeated myself, sorry. He is definitely so far the character that changes the tide of this race. Because right now, he is an absolute win. Especially for the cost. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure that the actual iteration of this guy in Gravity Builder is even better than this. But especially for a KO, this is pretty fantastic. Anyway, let me know what you think about this guy. Do you like him? Do you not? Do you think that it's a great stand-in for Mixmaster? Or do you think that there's definitely better out there for chug collectors? Maybe you like the CW better. Again, I didn't compare this guy to the actual Gravity Builder or to the Toy World version because I feel like they're on a different level. Yeah, I dig them, and if you've been on the fence about them, I don't think you need to be on the fence any longer. Once again, I'm going to thank you for dropping by, for giving me some of your very valuable time. I'm going to say, again, please hit that subscribe button, stick around here and have some fun with us, and I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit in part 4, right here, inside the videos.